Shari Campbell, Western Washington University class of 1983, is your commencement speaker. Shari Campbell is vice president and part owner of JayRay, a communications company in Tacoma. She doesn't think it's a coincidence that her company, whose clients include nonprofit organizations and school districts, also employs many Western graduates. We want to use communication to somehow change the world and make the world a better place, Ms. Campbell says, and I think that is reflected in Western graduates. Her first job in communication was an internship at St. Joseph Hospital in Bellingham, under the supervision of Sue Sharp, a former hospital executive who's now a member of Western's Board of Trustees. Ms. Campbell also worked for former Governor Booth Gardner and for the state of Washington before becoming the marketing director for the Franciscan Health Systems in Tacoma. Ms. Campbell serves as Western's Alumni Association vice president and leads the association's community engagement efforts. Her committee developed an app with Microsoft last year that helps alumni and prospective students connect with Western more easily. Today, 30 years after her own graduation, she will share with graduates, including her own daughter, the lessons she has learned while since leaving Western. Please join me in welcoming a distinguished graduate and friend of Western Washington University, Shari Campbell.
Graduates, parents, guests, alumni, trustees, and faculty, I'm truly honored to be here today. As a proud alumnus who 30 years ago this month became the first one in my immediate family to graduate from college, I never dreamed that I'd be able to speak at commencement, let alone speaking at the ceremony where in just a few minutes our oldest daughter, Emily, will graduate from this great institution that's really meant so much to me. When I was asked to be the alumni speaker for your graduation, I was at a loss for words. But then I put my journalistic training from Western to work and started sleuthing. I'm fortunate to work with several other college graduates and some really talented Western alumni. So I asked them who spoke at their graduation and what they recalled from that special day. Well, their answers in no particular order. Good question. I remember getting really wet running from the car to Carver. I don't know, but the weather was awful. Did we have an alumni speaker at my graduation? Or my favorite, I thought commencement speakers were famous people like Bill Gates or Ellen. Well, as you learned in my introduction, I'm a consultant. I teach people about developing key messages and elevator speeches. And I decided my best approach today was to take the advice I always preach to clients. Communicate no more than 3 simple messages. Make them thematic and memorable. Keep them brief. After all, you're here today to get your diploma. So let me share with you 3 messages. Messages that reflect lessons that serve me well every day and reflect what I see in the leaders I respect and admire. First, embrace failure. Think about it. We're always told to find a mentor, surround ourselves with successful people, ace our classes, play on the best sports teams, to do our best and to be our best. And that's all true. But as I think about the situations where I've learned the most, whether personal or professional, they've come from failure. You see, it's difficult to figure out what makes Coach K the winningest college basketball coach ever, or Oprah Winfrey, well, she's an amazing media talent. But for me, when I failed, I've learned. It's a balance, embracing failure. It's not really healthy to dwell too much on one's shortcomings or to overanalyze every situation. But if you can embrace failure and grow from it, success will come. Secondly, say thank you. A lot. I was reading an article in a professional journal recently. It talked about the top 5 mistakes that interns make. Number 4 on the list, not thanking the people who help them. Of course, you're really smart people. You're graduating from Western, so I know you'll never make this mistake. But as new graduates beginning your professional journey, a lot of people will help you. Maybe they'll meet you for coffee and an informational interview, politely offer you feedback on your resume, or give you helpful tips for improving your work. No matter the situation, always offer a sincere thank you. Show anyone and everyone how much you appreciate their time and their help. Well, and I know I'm going to sound very 1980s for saying this, but a written thank you note is gold. Over the years, I've received text thank yous, email thank yous, LinkedIn thank yous, Facebook thank yous, and of course, no thank yous. I remember the handwritten ones. I'd like to share my final message in the form of a story I heard recently. It's about a young man I'll call Ventris. Ventris grew up in the Deep South, in a small town. His father had abandoned his family. His mother was on welfare, cobbling together part-time jobs to support the household. He and his siblings lived in a small, ramshackle dwelling. By junior high, Ventris was the man of the house. That meant he stayed home 1 day a week to take delivery of food stamps that were dropped off by a welfare caseworker. It didn't take long for Ventris to figure out that since he was skipping school 1 day, he might as well just skip school altogether. His future had already been decided. He'd deal drugs. That's what poor, uneducated black men did, Ventris told us. One day, and Ventris really can't tell you why, he went to the local Boys and Girls Club with a friend. A volunteer at this organization reached out, made a point to connect with Ventris. Over the course of the next several months, this volunteer took a deeper interest in Ventris, convincing him to go to school every day, to read, to study. As high school drew to a close, Ventris knew he'd graduate. But as he wrote a letter to college, asking to be admitted and asking for a scholarship, he explained his situation very succinctly. My one hope, my only hope really, for a life other than dealing drugs is an education. Well, Ventris got admitted to that college. His real name is Dr. Cedric Howard, and today he is Vice Chancellor for Student and Educational Services at the University of Washington, Tacoma, the youngest in the nation to hold the position of Vice Chancellor at a major university. Dr. Howard's story is a Hallmark movie waiting to be scripted. And there's more. His mom was so inspired by her son that she too went back to school and became the second Dr. Howard. Dr. Howard's siblings also went to college, and every one of them graduated. So just imagine how different Dr. Howard's world would be, and the world of his mother, siblings, and his own family, if one volunteer hadn't reached out. So my final message, be the one. Be the one who speaks up in the face of injustice or prejudice. Be the one who organizes the office food drive or the annual United Way campaign. Oops. Be the one who doesn't lose your cap. Be the one who coaches the youth soccer team, volunteers in the classroom, or starts your community recycle program. Be the one who, when asked to serve, doesn't say, I don't have the time, but says instead, I will make the time. In closing, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to share this special day with you. I'm confident that you will be the ones who will make Western's tagline come true in the years to come. Active minds, changing lives. And today, embrace your success. My sincere congratulations on graduating from one of the finest universities in the country.
Thank you, Shari. Our alumni always do us proud.